Hello, everyone, and welcome to
Hi,
the first.
everybody.
Welcome to the first show of Walking into Worlds, and our special guest today is SunPsychic Jean.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Terry.
It's my pleasure, and it's awesome. You know, we're classmates. If any of you joining don't know, we're classmates, and we're very close, and so it's just wonderful to have Jean join me on the very first show. And want to say that we're very happy that you have joined us today, how important it is to us that you are going to be with us and part of this show as it evolves. And we're looking to see who we've got. And we've got Janet P.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about the show a little bit till we get a few more people in the chat. Um, as I said, Jean and I are classmates, but we go together and do live shows. We're going to do one on Friday on Jean's channel where we do live mediumship readings. And so I got this idea not too long ago. And Jean and Teri Suzuki and I are very close. And I shot this idea out to them, like, what would this be like? And they said it's a great idea. So with their encouragement, gave me confidence to give it a try. So the whole idea behind the show is to have a chat with Jean and really think about some questions about what it's like to be a psychic medium, what led you to be a psychic medium, what does it feel like to read someone on the other side, et cetera, et cetera. Those questions are going to come, and so we're going to answer those questions. And later on in the show, we will answer questions from the chat that are only mediumship or psychic related. Like if you've had a psychic experience or you have a question about mediumship or psychic abilities, we'll welcome that at the end of the show. And I'll announce this again, probably in the middle of the show, so everybody can get the idea of what we're trying to do here. All right, we've got some people coming in. Yes. Hi, Terry. Hi, False Teeth Tarot. Thank you for coming. Thank you so very much. And this chat is to participate in the chat is subscriber only. And that's just to kind of help me keep from going crazy worrying about trolls.
I
That's
know
one
you were
last thing.
you were the first one of us that got a troll. I'm like, Terry got a troll. Terry got a troll. From
That's
now
enough for
on.
me. Thank you very much. Okay.
So that reminds me to also mention, if you're watching us live on Facebook, I posted this on Facebook. You can come on over, just click on the link and come on over to Pure Visionaries channel and join us in the chat. That'd be
Yes,
great.
please do. Please do. Okay, well, we're getting a few more people. Oh, Butterfly Kisses Healing. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Appreciate you so much. All of our viewers, subscribers, the people who come regularly and participate in our chats are so very, very special to us. It's a real loving, kind, caring community. And I feel very honored and very full of gratitude to be a part of it. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I
All
wouldn't
right.
be able to do it without them for
I know.
sure. Just that they held such a safe place, to
Mhm.
practice and to get out there and to put my face out there. And I felt like I was amongst friends and family, and everybody was so kind and generous when I would like either, not get anything, or I would be confused, not know what a duck is.
Yes, it's that support that helps build your confidence. And as your confidence builds, then you're able to let go of worries and just connect with spirit and do your thing. So I think we might get started. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
let's have a question. What the heck?
Hmm.
Are you ready, Jean?
I am.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask the first question on my list, which is what were some of the first experiences you had in this lifetime that you can look back on now and identify as part of your psychic and or mediumship gifts and abilities?
Hmm. I think I was just really very sensitive. I think I could pick up on other people's energies and kind of, I was just very sensitive, like as a teenager and a young adult. As a kid, I was oblivious, knew nothing, and um, but I had this knowing. Now that looking back, I had this knowing, this like inner strength that that I would draw on. I wasn't exactly sure what it was or how
Mhm.
it worked,
Yeah,
but now looking back, I do remember.
that's beautiful. I can relate to that. And yeah, now that I have an idea of psychic and mediumship abilities, and we know so much more than we did back then when I was a kid. But now I can look back and see some incidences and go, oh, that's what that was. That's how I knew that, or that's how I knew that person was lying, or, that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's very interesting. All right, we've got some people joining in. Welcome, 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 Lee Reeve. And once again, I'm reading questions to SunPsychic Jean regarding her psychic mediumship abilities and experiences she's had in her life. Okay, then next question ties into the childhood idea. What were some of the things that fascinated or interested you as a child or young person that made you curious about psychic abilities or ESP or magic?
Um, TV shows were pretty influential, and I had some family members who did the regular deck cards, like the ace and the
Oh, yeah.
regular playing card deck,
Wow.
and trying to think of what else there was. It's yeah. I don't really recall anything else that stood out when I was a kid, other than, just the typical, uh, not Ouija board, but like little tricks, like the needle on a string to find out what the sex is of
Uh-huh.
the baby,
Yeah.
just little things. There was this thing that we used to do, which is crazy. We used to give each other like bear hugs in my
Yeah.
friend's basement, and it would cut off the circulation to the brain and make you pass out. And
Yes.
when you passed out, you had a glimpse of something. Do
Mhm.
you remember doing that?
I do. I remember holding our breath. We would hold our breath until we felt like we were going to pass out, and then we'd have that little spinning kind of thing, and all that little gold stuff would appear behind your eyelids, and yeah, I do remember that. Thanks for bringing that up. I'd forgotten about that. I think I could
Mhm.
do without that now, though, but
Mhm.
all right. Um, so I do want to make it clear, since we've had a few people join now, and welcome and thank you so much, that this is a show where I'm interviewing Jean with questions about her psychic and mediumship skills and abilities. So we're just going to kind of ramble and enjoy a good conversation. Feel free, if you'd like to post a question, I'll be watching and star some questions. But the questions at the end of this program will only be, will only accept questions related to psychic and mediumship subjects. So you might ask Jean a personal question about her experiences, or you might say, I had this experience. What was it? And we'll answer those questions at the end of this show. So please participate. We love it. We love it. We love it. All right. So the next question. Um, I'm going to throw one more in from childhood.
Mm.
Did you have any books that you read? Did you seek out anything that um, intrigued you, that had a magical or mystical aspect to it?
The Robert Monroe, um,
Ah,
and I think it was the astral traveling that
oh, there you go.
interested me, and it was sort of like going around with a bunch of my friends that they were talking about it and recommending it, and you always, hmm, yeah, that and just like Sylvia Brown's book, and
Yes.
who's the? I mean, it was such a long time ago. Shirley MacLaine's book, that
Yes,
kind of thing. I mean, there's only a
absolutely.
few. There's like only a few that actually came out that everybody would say you have to get this book, and you know, it was very few and far between
Mhm.
opportunities to learn about this stuff.
You had to seek it out. I remember going into the library and specifically asking for the mystic or the psychic section of the library, and I would get some looks like, "What are you talking about?" But there were very few. There were very few. But I realize and remember, seems like in the 80s there was kind of this kind of boom later on, but not so much when we were kids. We did have some great sci-fi books though to feed on. I love those. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, now we're gonna leap into question number 3
And
or 4. Yeah.
in general, I think that I was always very intrigued with human behavior,
Mhm.
and
Ah.
always wondered why things made us do the things that we did, and why people behaved the way they did, and
Mhm.
just what makes it all work. I
Mhm.
was very curious,
Mhm.
and was fascinated and wanted to know why people with problems, or people with anger, or people with depression, or people with trauma, like
Yeah,
what is causing all of this, and why can't we fix it?
very good.
It was very inquisitive about human behaviors.
Mhm. That's interesting. Now, did a lot of that come from empathic emotions that you had? Yeah. Okay. So you felt for them and you wondered why they felt sad or why they felt angry and tried to figure that out. Interesting. Uh,
Hmm.
if I had made it on my course, but I was derailed, but I was going to get a degree in sociology. That was
Hmm.
my huge interest in my college days. S
Right.
I had some training in that, and I think that's kind of that thing, why human beings behave the way they do, right? Cool. All right. So, how was it, Jean, that you came to know that becoming a professional psychic medium was your true desire and destiny?
Mm. Um, I don't know that I'm sure yet. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I think it's in progress. I I think when I gained the confidence, we had the classes, and I just want to shout
Yeah.
out to Susan Lin and Medium Kim for being the um, the teachers that sparked my abilities to
Mhm.
come back to life. To come back to me. I felt like there was something that I've always known, but it would just happen. Like I would know things or hear things, but I wasn't able to call on it to call it in. And they
Mhm.
taught us how to call it in,
Mhm.
and taught us how to exercise that muscle, and they taught us a technique, and then they said, okay, now's practice, and we had to practice it right away. That
Yes.
is so important to me, and the manner that it was taught gave you confidence while you were in the class, and then after class we had weeks and weeks and weeks of practice.
Yes.
There were so many of us in this huge practice, and we would practice all the time, and then we would call each other up and practice. And then Allie from Heart and Soul
Mhm.
Connected invited us all on her channel, just said, go ahead,
Yeah.
practice. I was like, are you sure you want us to come on there and just
Yeah.
practice?
Such
And
beautiful support.
gave
Yeah.
us the opportunity to practice with you guys. And I think that's when it all changed for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know I could do it on the chat. I didn't know until you did it. And it was so scary. So scary.
Yeah. And I do wanna interject here, that the combination of Medium Kim and Susan Lin as teachers is absolutely perfect. The balance between the 2 of them is excellent. And by the way, I believe tomorrow, there is the first day of their latest, combination teaching class, The Ascension. and I'm going to be there. So I'll look for some of you out there if you're interested. If you just want to know about it, it doesn't have to mean that you're going to do what we do, but it's something that can really elevate the energy in your life. I guarantee
Mhm.
it. I guarantee
Mhm.
it. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt there, Jean,
No,
but
no. No, it's very magical, and, you can use it in your own life, you can use it with your own guidance, you can develop your own relationship.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Oh, good. So I'm going to skip ahead then because I think I have one of those questions.
Mhm.
Okay. How can spiritual, mystical, or metaphysical practice enrich the life of someone who has no intention of becoming a psychic medium? For example, meditation, yoga, study, grounding and earthing, seeking energy healing, etc.
It helps you with your sanity, it helps you deal with life's, roller coaster or issues that you may have. It helps you to it gives you like that anchor just to hold on to a guidance that you can rely on, like the guidance when I was having some changes at my job. I was on this pendulum almost every day asking questions over and over because it's the unknown that is,
Yeah.
do I move or do I stay? Are they going to sell the house, or am I going to find a house? Am I going to get the job? Am I going to, it's a huge undertaking to maintain a livelihood and then have these huge life changes go on around you. And it
Yes.
gives you peace of mind. It gives you guidance. And for just that reason, for peace of mind, for your sanity, for your own spiritual connection,
Yes.
and to know that you are more than just what is in this human suit right here today. um, it's it's uh, it's a beautiful journey.
Lovely. I love that. I'm trying to look for a segue here into another one, but I'll just go ahead and make it up anyway. And I'll add to this is that how important is it to know who you really are? I think that is the essence of all of this spiritual practice and mediumship, and to know that you are the energy, the shard, if you will, off the great crystal creator of life, all life. You're here to experience and grow, and you're also protected, you're enabled, and you're set free to explore and enjoy your life. So that's the way I feel like all of these, and that's why I like to expand them, because the more I learn, the more different things I investigate and grow with, that better my life gets. I feel really empowered.
It does. It enables you to tap into that wisdom. It enables you to have a higher perspective, a different perspective on what's going on in front of you.
Mhm.
And like some psychologists say, don't worry about things that in 5 years and it's not gonna matter in 5 years. Like, why worry if your plant's gonna die or something? It is
Yeah,
upsetting at the time, you're going through it, but in 5 years, is it really gonna matter? So
right.
it's kind of like a perspective kind of thing. And knowing that we are our souls, we are an aspect of the soul and a human aspect, and together on each one is the spiritual side and one is the analytical or logical side. And together we are this human. And we're here to be on this earth. It's an earth school to learn
Mhm.
lessons and to um, evolve our I don't know what are
Uh,
evolve our soul, I would guess, right?
yes, and when you realize that, I don't know. To me, it takes the judgment away. I mean, uh, if you are in school and you're learning something, right, and you might make a mistake here or there, but eventually you get it and you get an A. That's what it is. We're growing, and then you can accept those mistakes and understand that those mistakes gave you the vision to proceed in the direction that you're going right now. So it kind of takes a lot of that fear. I know as a little girl, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but the unpardonable sin. They used to talk about the unpardonable sin in the church that I went to, and I was always so worried that, oh, I've probably done the last one or something. I'm in big trouble. Oh, but you can be set free from that kind of judgment, and you can understand that, as I say in every show, you are loved beyond measure. And this is a wonderful, wonderful way to explore your life, knowing that you're loved and supported and guided.
Yeah. And especially just the circle of life, with birth and
Yeah.
understanding that this soul came in, and with death when our family members or our pets pass, and it's like there is just no understanding that. There is just, it just totally changes everything around
Mhm.
you. And you need some anchor, some guidance, some knowing to focus on, just
Right.
to hang on to.
Yes.
And it is, I've seen it. It
Mhm.
is as real as we are sitting here. In fact, it's
Absolutely.
more real. This is not real.
For sure.
And what they've told me, oh, the things that they tell me.
Yeah.
And
We're about to segue into that. Thank you very much, Jean. Wow. This is working
sorry,
out really
I
well.
think
No,
my
don't be.
guides are looking at your paper.
I think they are. They're coordinating. Okay, next question. Explain to us how you see with your third eye. Have you
Mm.
ever actually seen spirits or ghosts with your physical eyes?
Well, that's an interesting story. Yes, I have. I have
Oh,
seen a ghost.
okay.
I did have a ghost in my first house that I bought when I was in my early 30s.
Oh,
And just to give you a synopsis, because I am going to put it on video, but it's probably going to be like a 4-part video.
wow. 4 parts.
It's long. Yeah,
Cool.
because I really want to get it recorded and all the details, and I have witnesses, and I moved into this house, and the previous owners were disgruntled because they lost their mortgage. They went into foreclosure or something, and they had to vacate the house. And they
Mhm.
came back and ransacked the house and destroyed it. So it was very, you had to
Oh,
redo everything, the electrical, the plumbing,
my.
everything. Yeah. So it was like it was you know ransacked or vandalized, and like they left the tub overflow. They put, it's just awful. But anyway, so I had to rehab the house before I was able to move into it, and always kind of felt like bad energy. And I thought, maybe it's just because of the anger of the people that were here.
Right.
So I got the salt and I put the salt around and broom the salt out of the door. I did the sage, and I
Mhm.
did, so many different things. And I always felt like somebody was watching me. And I have to say, this is the first house I ever bought by myself. Well, the first house I ever bought, and
Uh-huh.
lived by myself. So I was
Mhm.
always living with either friends or family before that. So being by yourself is a little different. And I thought, well, maybe it's just my imagination that I feel like somebody's watching me. But
Yeah.
I did not know.
Wow.
You kind of have that presence of somebody else
Sensation of
is
a
in the
presence.
room.
Yeah. And just to jump in, and I don't wanna derail you, but what does that feel like? I mean, I know
You
what it feels
doubt
like
your,
to me, I don't know what it feels like to you, but
you doubt
sensing a
yourself.
presence.
You doubt yourself, and you think that you're just making it up, that you're being paranoid, that you're
Mhm.
seeing stuff out of the corner of your eye, or I just and then you would just say, oh well, and go about your business. um I experienced supine paralyzation, which is like sleep
Yes.
paralyzation, I think it's
Yes.
called.
Mhm, mhm.
While I was there by myself in my house, and really freaked me out. And then I started smelling different smells that were not from me. So I didn't know. And all of these were making me curious. And
Mhm.
then I started waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to the radio blaring. And I don't my clock didn't have a radio on it, so I don't know why I
Mhm.
heard a radio because it didn't have or aired something. I just
Uh-huh.
would wake up to the radio and it wasn't on. So every time I would wake up, I would like kind of sense that there was something in the room with me. So I would like turn
Yeah.
on my TV at 3 o'clock at night, and just have the TV on and try and go back to sleep.
Mhm.
And then it developed into I could hear somebody breathing, and
Ooh.
I thought, well, if they're dead, why can't I hear them breathing? But they were, and I could feel somebody standing, like I was sleeping on the pillow, and I
Mhm.
could feel somebody standing next to my bed,
Yeah.
breathing over me. And
Yeah.
I would open my eyes and nobody would be there. And then, yeah. So, long story short, I eventually saw him. I
Wow.
was, he was laying down in the bed next to me. I'll tell you the end. And then he sat up on the side of the bed and then stood up and then walked over to the bathroom, just like any normal person would get up and walk. But I was scared beyond scared. I can't even tell you. I let out this blood curdling cry out of the
Oh.
depths of my soul. And
Oh.
I just like, I never heard that sound come out of my body before.
Yeah.
Um, so he kept coming back, and I was beside myself. I thought I was having a nervous breakdown because I couldn't really breathe. I mean, I couldn't
Mhm.
really sleep. And
Mhm.
then with sleep deprivation, you think you're going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And then you have the wild dreams too when you do fall asleep, right?
you know, I call my girlfriend and they're like, "Oh, Jean, you must be under a lot of stress." I'm like, "No, I really saw him. I really saw him." So my little sister was very brave. She volunteered to come over. She invited me over her house to sleep, and then I went and I slept over on the couch. And she woke up the next morning and said, "Did you see any men?" And I'm like, "Nope, I had the best sleep in my I have had for weeks."
There you
So she
go.
says, "Okay, I'll come over your house and I'll sleep there, and we'll see if we see any of these men." Like they're all like talking to me, like. So she comes, she sees him, she feels him, she knows she's freaking out with me and
Mhm.
validates the whole thing. And without that, I think I would have probably doubted myself without her actually being there and
Mhm.
validating everything. So we're real tight these days.
I'll bet. Now, I know you don't wanna tell too much more of it because you're going to do a video on it, and I can't wait to see that. But, at that point, did you have any guidance as to what to do? Did you have any idea? You don't have to tell me what you did, but
No, I'll definitely tell you. Um, I did talk to my chiropractor because I was under a lot of stress.
oh,
And he's like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And I said, "You're not going to believe it." And I said, "No." I said, "You're not going to believe it." He goes, "Oh," he says, "I've seen a UFO before." He says, "There's
ah,
nothing you can tell me that I won't believe." You know, I mean,
yeah.
so I said, "Okay, I have a ghost." He goes, "Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people that have a ghost." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "What do you do?" He says, "I know a girl." So he gets me connected with this lady, and she's a medium, and she helped me cross the spirit over. And he said
Oh,
that he thought I was his wife. He was looking for his wife. He was been roaming the
oh,
area for a long time, thought I was his wife, and
oh,
kept trying to wake me up.
wow,
And that's why he was in the bed with me. That's why
wow.
he was, leaning over me, and he must have passed first, was waiting for her. She passed, but he
And
never
he didn't
crossed.
know. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I hear stories about that, and I wonder about that as well. Um, those of someone passes first, and then their loved ones pass, and they don't realize it, and they're left behind. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon, I think. Wow. Well, I have, we'll talk about the third eye because we skipped that part. But I did my first actual visual was when I was first dating my wonderful second husband, and we went camping at a place called Grovant in Wyoming, and it was actually this site. We didn't really actually camp there. We visited there. We were camped close by, and this it was the site of a great earthquake, and rock slide that occurred and completely buried this little mining town. And we were just kind of scrambling around the rocks and checking it out. And we kind of sat there for a few minutes and just, kick back and look at the sky. And all of a sudden, I sat up and I saw this man dressed in like really old 1800s style clothing, with like a little cap and a scarf, and he was all dirty. He was really dirty, and he had suspenders on, pants up to here, and that kind of thing. And it was like I just kind of, was trying to figure out if I was dreaming it or imagining it. And he kept talking to me about a baby, looking for a baby, got to find my baby. I could hear
Oh.
that, and it just at this point I hadn't really had those kind of experiences yet, so it really kind of freaked me out, and I just told Dave that we got to get out of here. I just don't feel comfortable here. I'm getting really bad vibes. And God bless him, he didn't go like, "What is wrong with you?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." And much later we discussed it, but that was the first time. Since then, I haven't ever seen one that's quite so detailed with my actual eyes. Just usually light and shadows, that kind of thing. But tell us about how you feel when you see something through your third eye or your
Mm.
mind's
Well,
eye.
let me just clarify the ghost that I did see in my house. He looked like, you know how you walk past a storefront that has a big window
Uh-huh.
and you can see yourself in the window, and you can see the clothes that you're wearing, but it's very transparent and
Right.
translucent.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, this is what he looked like to me.
Yeah,
I could see the color, the detail, but it was all see-through,
right.
just like they have in the movies. So somebody must have told them how to do it.
Yeah, very ethereal looking, at least the guy I saw was. He was just obviously not, um,
Solid.
solid. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, and how
What
is it you see with your third eye?
when I call in spirits, when I call in past loved ones of my clients, they sort of send me like little messages and little glimpses of an image, almost like a flower or a sneaker or a
Mhm.
basketball or something, and it's just like a very quick glimpse. And you guys in the chat all have had this. You've
Yes.
all had a fleeting thought thinking,
Mhm.
why did I
Yeah,
just
they
think of
have.
that? Very fleeting. So, and then what you do is you connect to that image, and they come in closer, and then they start giving you like a feeling, like I can tell male or female, and sometimes you get whether or not
Mhm.
they have the gray hair and the mustache with the cigarette, like just sort of like an energy. and
Mhm.
it's and it's very like kind of a feeling of that, and then a little bit of a glimpse. It's not clear, you can't see their face, it's just like you get the feeling of maybe seeing somebody in the distance like that. And then sometimes they come in much closer, and then I can feel the feelings through their soul. Like they're talking to me through their soul, and they have feelings, they have thoughts, and they have images that they want to share. And my soul connects with their soul.
Yes.
And this, I'm reading the energy of their soul. But I've yet to hear, I mean, I can tell when they say, um, you're doing a great job. I'm so happy for you, because that's what they make me feel.
Right.
So this is why I say this. I feel like saying this.
Right.
It's it's
Ah, interesting. Yeah. It's the best, isn't it? It is,
it is.
when you have a reading where you actually connect with these loving, brilliant, bright light energy souls on the other side, you get the opportunity to really feel that, and when they're encouraging and giving loving messages, it is just the best. Now, a little bit differently for me, I do hear the interesting thing about seeing them through my third eye is you're right. You'll see, like, sometimes you can clearly see they have dark hair, but you may not be able to see the color of their eyes. But
Mm.
sometimes they will, if they're really good, because I think they practice at it, I really do, can help you see certain physical characteristics that will give you a validation to the person that you're reading for. So like rosy cheeks, or big stocky guy, or you just feel it. You just feel it and see it at the same time. Woo! I get
One of
excited
my
just talking about it.
one of my recent uh, readings, somebody, the spirit that I was, getting the message, he said, he gave me the image of John Denver. And I was thinking, does somebody
Oh,
wear
yeah.
round glasses? Does somebody look like John Denver? And she's like, no, I live in Denver. I'm like, oh, okay. So you can't, it's
You
so
can't,
hard to
yeah,
try and interpret. You just have to say what you see. And I'm
right.
like, why are they showing me John Denver? And then she would say, instead of me saying, does anybody wear round glasses? Like, it's not for me to interpret. It's for me to just relay the message.
Very important.
It's and this
That's
is
the
the
hardest
hard.
thing to learn too, isn't it? I remember when I first started to get like full names, I would be like, well, I'm not going to say that name. I don't know that name. And then I'd say the name and they go, oh, and I go, oh my gosh. Um, yeah, it's so interesting how they choose to come forward and play. Basically, I feel like they're playing. Really, the messages are serious and dear and meant to come forward, but it's an interaction that feels very, to me, very light. Now, sometimes it can be heavy, and that's a question I'm going to ask you about, because sometimes you do a reading, perhaps. I don't know if you have this, but I do. You have a reading that is about some one on this side. I've had apologies come from people on the other side to the people who I was reading for, but I have never felt someone on the other side um, feeling bad, like unhappy or miserable or trapped, or they're always quite happy, and that's a wonderful thing. And so, have you had experiences with maybe having a reading with something like that, and then had to go shake it off later, or
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
there's definitely, heavy and serious subject
mhm,
matters and um yeah, just and then we connect with their soul, with their heart, with their feeling. I get to know your loved ones
yeah,
come and visit with me and make me feel how they feel about you. This
hmm,
is why I can relay the message, because I can feel the way they feel. I can feel the love. I can feel the concern. I can feel
yes,
you know, whatever they're feeling. And I get very I mean, not intimate, but it's a very close kind of a share. And
yes,
it's so generous of them to share their energy with me so that I can help their loved one. And I have to say, one person who I read early on, and then I did a video, and her husband went down with his plane during Vietnam,
oh,
and I did a video on this, and
mhm,
he actually stayed with me and nudged me to get my to do the video, to do the editing, and to get the video out. He kept nudging me, Jean, this is what you want to do. This is what you want. Because I wanted to do this, share with people, but I didn't know how. I didn't know if I had time. I didn't know if I could learn the
mhm,
editing software. He nudged me until I did it, and he was so happy that I was able to communicate his thoughts and feelings with the my client. He was so appreciative and showed me so much gratitude that
right,
he helped me.
wow, yeah, yeah. That's pretty neat. That's great when you get encouragement from the other side. That's beautiful. Um, Vivian, I would toss you a wrench. An interesting phenomenon with this on StreamYard. I know you have a wrench. I've done it in YouTube. I've given it to you. I know Ron does. I don't know why when I do subscriber only, it doesn't happen. I might be missing something, but I'm really sorry. We're kind of so late into the show right now that I just kind of want to focus on letting everybody
Yeah.
know who's joined recently what this is all about. We're discussing psychic mediumship with the amazing SunPsychic Jean. We're talking about, personal experiences and what it's like, and also what it could be like for you in your practice as you learn these things and learn and grow along with us. And you don't have to become a psychic medium to get the benefits of all of this. So thank you very much, Jean. I also want to say that you can post questions. If you post them in capitals, I'll see them faster. But we're only taking questions about psychic mediumship experiences, maybe something that you experienced that you'd like to know about and have us maybe do a little read about, or questions about psychic mediumship. And I actually do have one starred because I believe, yes, Janet P. said she had a question about the breathing sound. Janet, if you want to go ahead and post that question, you could be the first one to get your question answered.
Can I say hello to the Crone Zone? They are amazing team of very wise, experienced individuals that are sharing their wisdom with us on a YouTube, and I just could not thank them more for sharing all. They have different topics every show, and the show isn't. It's very concise and very well done, and you could feel the heart, the soul, the wisdom, and just the breath of experience from these women that are doing this show. I really love it. So that's the Crone Zone, Conversations with the Ancients, and also Unconditional Ron. You have made such a big difference in all of our lives. You are absolutely amazing. You are here every time we have a live show. Thank you very much for coming and being who you are. I love watching your show, and I just feel so much safer when I see he's here.
I know, it's true. It's like, oh, Ron's here. Everything's all right.
And everybody, Janet P., False Teeth Tarot, Vivian, of course, and AD is here, and Teri is watching, and Butterfly Kisses. Everybody's here. Thank you guys very much for everything.
So yeah, Janet P. was just bringing up the fact that you mentioned that why the breathing sound, but once again, I relate back to the fact that sometimes they do things that give us a message. That's another thing we didn't really discuss. Is like, like I did a reading where I am connected with someone who rides a motorcycle, and they have a certain saying that they say all the time, and Spirit will say that to me. Someone from the other side will say this, and I'm like, oh, we're talking about a motorcycle rider here, so
full throttle,
yes.
Like, I never say that. I'm like, full why did I just say full
Isn't
throttle?
That beautiful? And I just love it because I don't know, it's just like a gift that you share with them, and it's a secret, and it's a beautiful thing. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Janet. That's part of all the excitement we're talking about. Now I'm going to squeeze one more quick question in while we're waiting. Please post your questions. If you have a question about, who pulled my hair in the middle of the night, maybe I'll ask Jean that, because I just had that happen not too long ago. But I have one more question I would love to ask. So have you ever been in an everyday environment where you have sensed a presence of someone trying to come through from the other side to you? And how do you handle that?
I didn't handle it very well. One of the first thing that popped into my mind, it may not be exactly what you're asking, but and we are all very sensitive here. We are all empaths. We are all so it's difficult sometimes to live out in the real world. My husband and I went to Bryce's Canyon and Zion National Park. And along the way, you have to fly in and out of Las Vegas. So we stayed a night in Las Vegas, because that Las Vegas is not me. He loves all the lights and the glitz and the glamour. I like all the quiet stuff out in the country or on the mountains. But he wanted to go see the pirate show at the I don't know which casino it was.
The street show outside.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
yeah.
good one.
So everybody crowds around and watches this pirate show outside of Treasure Island, I think it's called. One of the casinos is Treasure Island. And he's holding my hand, and I'm short. My husband's like, a whole foot taller than me or more.
Mhm.
And I can't see anything but the backs of people's back and their shoulders, and I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And all these people were like pushing and like kind of crowding in, and I had a total meltdown. I'm like, we've got to go. We've got to go. I don't feel
Yeah.
safe. I felt very just not safe because of all the energies that was around me. And I probably had a panic attack. And
Yes.
he's like, no, no, just 5 more minutes. He goes, can't you wait? I'm like, I can't. So I had let go of his hand. And when we travel, we don't ever separate. I let go of his hand and I ran back into the hotel. But I couldn't breathe. Like there
Yeah.
was something, and I don't know what made that happen. And some another time it happened when I was inside of an airplane, which is not
Yes.
good because I
Yeah.
felt like the
Nowhere to
Incredible
go.
Hulk that needs to get out, you
Mhm.
know? But it's all the energies sort of like just bombard you, and you can have these senses and feelings and and different emotions, and it's like overwhelming for you. And
Right.
I didn't understand what was going on. Hmm.
Yeah. We share something else because, I've been to Vegas a couple times before, but recently, a few years ago, um, I was there and I had a panic attack, and I froze. Now when we go there, we go to Red Rocks and we go to Valley of Fire, and we enjoy that, but, I'm not big in crowds anymore. But, I will tell you one interesting experience, and I'm not like those people that just walks around town and goes, "Oh, I see your mother standing behind you," because I haven't got that. But I was in the grocery store one day, and a very charming, Hispanic young man, he was so cute. He was admiring my fedora. I was wearing a fedora because it's kinda raining outside, and so he mentioned that, and then, so I asked him what his name was, and he was just very, sassy, right? And as I'm talking to him, I'm zooming in, and I see this earring he's got. It's a flamingo. It's only in one ear, and it's a flamingo. And it just, I was like, "Oh, that's cool," thinking, and I'm getting ready to go out, but it's like it drew me in, right? It totally drew me in. So I said, "I gotta ask you, where did you find that beautiful flamingo earring, and why are you wearing it?" And he goes, "Well," he says, "I gotta tell you that this belonged to my mom." And he went on to explain how the rest of the family took everything, and he was left with the earring. And I said, "That's so special." And then all of a sudden, there was his mom, and she was right there, and she's like, you tell him I'm with him. You tell him I'm with him." And I said, "Listen, I got to tell you, I'm a psychic medium, and your mom is telling me that she is watching over you and she is with you." And he started to get tears, and he pulls this necklace out of his shirt. Obviously, it was one that was handmade, and it was just beautiful with crystals. And there in the center was this beautiful framed little tiny picture of his mom.
Oh,
Oh man.
she was
And,
always with him. Hmm.
and then he was just like, Thank you so much. Thank you so much." And I kind of walked away thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. But wow, was that ever special?"
That's a
It,
good idea.
it
You, me, Terry, and Joan all should go to Vegas and walk around and say, hey, come here a minute.
Oh Lord.
Terry and Joan just fell off their bikes. No.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so I'm going back to the comments here. We got any questions? Breathing
I think
thing.
they like your questions.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got lots of questions. Oh, yeah. Who pulled my hair in the middle of the night, Jane?
Mm.
The other night. Now, here's the thing. I'll explain this. I do, and I don't know if you get this or not, but when I get downloads, I get little prickly sensations in the top of my head. It's not like an itchy scalp. It's almost like little electrical pricks in the top of my head. So I'm kind of used to that. I wake up to that and I'm like, okay, you guys got something for me. And 9 times out of 10, I get something. But the other night, my hair was pulled, and it was pulled so hard that it woke me up. I was sleeping. It woke me up. And I was like, thinking that I could dial in who did it. but I couldn't. And I said, "Who pulled my hair?" And I looked over, and my husband's fast asleep way over on the other side of the king size bed, so it wasn't him. And I don't know who it was. Can you look into that for me?
I can try.
Okay.
Well, I am hesitating only because they crossed the boundary. And I would hate to say it was a family member that would cross a boundary. And I don't want to be the one to, but there are, like, I had this man outside of my window in my bedroom,
Mhm.
and he told me that he died last night.
Wow.
And what not last night, but the day that I woke up, and I could feel his energy, and as I'm waking up, I hear him saying, that I'm the one that died last night. And I'm like, "Okay." So, I told my husband, and he's like, I said, "I think it was somebody on this street," because he was on this side of the house. Like, we have a window
Ah,
out back and a window on the
okay.
side. And my husband said, "You have a 50-50 chance," because we're in an aging neighborhood. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
But about 2 weeks later, we saw them cleaning out the house up the street, and that I said, "That's the man. That's the man who told me that he died."
Wow.
So I am telling you this story because there are other energies around us. There are other
Sure.
energies
Mhm.
that are not family members that may be, and I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want to
No.
say that this could happen to you if you start connecting to spirit guides. In fact, I think it happens less. But I am getting this the idea, or I'm getting the feeling that it was a trick or a joke or
Mhm.
a it wasn't, it didn't seem very nice though, because you said they pulled your hair very hard.
Well, it didn't hurt,
So,
but I got the same vibe that you did, that it was a trick or a joke, and that's why I think they wouldn't tell me when I said, "Who pulled my hair?" Somebody was having a good joke on me. I think one
mhm.
thing that we have to remember as as psychic mediums too, when we're our level of vibration, and anybody out there, by the way, who has raised your level of vibration, you're sensing things, like in a crowd or in a group of people, that kind of thing. You're lit up. You're lit, right? Not in the old fashioned term, but your light is shining. So, and Jean, that's obviously why that person came in to you, because you were there. You were there to give that person that emotional guidance and feeling of acceptance. Now, not all vibrations or things that you feel are good, and if you feel something that's not good, you tell it to go. You just tell it to go. We have that power. We are completely protected. And, as a young girl, when I was experiencing things, and especially at night, I would get really afraid. But then somehow, I don't know if it was a guide that told me, I don't think I read anything specifically. I just felt like they can't hurt you. Don't be afraid. Just tell them to go.
Right.
And that's
I
an
see
important thing.
somebody answered in the chat. Actually, False Teeth Real Tarot said it could have been your first husband, but we don't know. Did your
he's
first
not
husband?
he's not past.
He hasn't crossed, yeah,
No.
but
Uh-uh.
good guess, good guess.
That was
And
a
I
good
do
guess.
see that there is a Terry T who looks like he came in from, or they came in from Facebook and joined us.
Oh,
Thank you
hi,
for
Terry
joining us.
T.
And we're doing questions on mediumship and psychic development. Like, if you had a question of something you
Yeah.
saw or something you felt, or you wanted me to ask a question to either one of us of how we, got started, or what happened when we did this, or
Mhm.
have we ever seen this or felt this? It's sort of like those types of questions, not necessarily personal questions, but we will be doing personal questions on my channel on
Yes.
Friday evening, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and on the Sun Psychic Gene channel. But thanks for joining us, Terry T. And you're Teri
Thank you.
Lee.
That's so
T
cool.
Yeah, thank you very much for asking,
Thanks for
and
joining. And, if you've
yeah.
had an experience sort of like my question I just asked, you know, you felt like your hair was pulled, or maybe you saw a bright flash of color, or maybe you felt a really feeling that you'd never felt before that you thought might be mystical or from the other side. Those are the kind of questions we're answering today. We're just really focusing in on this, and the reason why is because there are so many wonderful spiritually talented people out there. We love you all, and we're all going through this together. We're sharing this, and it's important to share because it gives us not only confidence, but that feeling of safety and feeling like I'm secure and I'm willing to explore these practices and emotions and that kind of thing. So we're really hoping, and I think I have one. Hold on just a second. Here we go. So here's a quote about it being good for people to talk about their paranormal experiences. And that's from Rosemary Ellen Guiley.
Can you read it to us? I missed the first
Oh,
part.
I'll read it. I think that it is very good for people to talk about their paranormal experiences and share stories about things that they cannot explain. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. This healthy stuff, kids. And like I say, I've always called it a spiritual phenomenon. We are so blessed, by the way. I had this feeling the other day because I was reading, kind of studying up for this show about, psychic mediums and clairvoyants back in the old days, the seers, and how they were treated, what their life was like. And some were honored and some were not. We have this glorious blessing of being able to be on YouTube and share with you all and get to know you all from people from all over the world. And it's a very exciting time on this planet, as you know. They say the veil is thinning. So the veil is thinning on their side, but it's also thinning on our side. And we're finding out who we really are. And I think it's just so exciting. Have we got anybody else who has a question? Oh, thank you, Chris. So Chris says, this is so great because not being one who is blessed with these gifts, I always wonder what it's like. Thank you. And thank you, Chris, for joining us. Appreciate that question.
Thanks, Chris MK. Here's another one.
Yeah, Carolyn, what's up? A friend was telling me about an unmarried but committed couple she knows. I got a whole scenario of a monastic experience they shared in the Middle Ages. Am I making this up? I had no tingles. Now, that's an interesting question. I'm grabbing the labradorite. I want to just peek in on this. I don't want you to say names because they're kind of not involved, but I'll try to.
I would definitely say you're not making this up. I've
Yeah.
received these sort of downloads when unexpectedly, and I questioned them, and it was personal, private information. And it was just sort of being at like a birthday party or something, and somebody said, "Meet my sister's neighbor," and I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Oh,
TMI. And I'm like, why did that just happen?
yeah.
And you
Classic.
got, because you get it all in like a one split second, you got it all. And it wasn't sharing kind of information. And I think it's just that their energy is so open, and that I don't know. I don't know. I was questioning why I got that information, but it was not information you would ever share with somebody you didn't know, and barely anybody you did know.
And Carolyn, I
But
definitely got a yes on that. Definitely. Interesting. And that was actually one of my questions. And that was, can you read a room when you walk into a gathering, or maybe, I don't know, a concert, a movie theater, or in an area? We don't do that too much anymore, but in an area where there are a lot of people, do you get those vibrations? And apparently you do.
mhm, mhm.
Okay. All right. So we're going to take this one here because it's an interesting comment. When my granddad passed, thank you, Teri T, the alarm in my building went off for no reason at 3 a.m., waking up the whole lot. Security people could not get it to switch off. I always thought it was him turning it on.
Definitely.
I guarantee you it was him.
Definitely. This is
Isn't
what
that
they
great?
do. This
Yeah.
is what they do.
And it's
That was his big sayonara, you know? Adios.
yeah.
Here's the bell.
School's out, right?
Mhm.
you know, um, they do seem to have an easier time sometimes with electronic devices. That's kind of known in not only in the industry but amongst people. And also, don't ever think um, don't ever think it's beyond them. And I don't have the picture right now to throw up, but if you go to my purevisionary psychic.com, there's a picture at the very top of the screen of that I took um, coming over the Sawtooth Mountains. It was the day that my son had passed away 5 years ago. We had gone to the mountains to remember him and be together with family. And as we're coming back, we come up over the top. My husband's driving, and I'm just gazing out. And all of a sudden, I look, and it seemed like the sky was full of cloud angels. It was amazing. You have to go see the picture because it's pretty undeniable that it's a beautiful cloud angel. And so I took several pictures, and of course, cried and said, "Wow, great job, Aaron." But don't ever think that anything is beyond them in a way. They're practicing, they're getting better. We're getting better. It's a wonderful thing. It's a blessing.
Yeah, and they can manipulate clouds very easily. It's common to hear that loved ones either ring a bell, shut off. I had during a reading, I had a loved one close down the Zoom page.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. Okay, butterfly kisses. Popping back in between errands. When I see faces with my eyes closed, they are cartoon like. Have you ever heard of this?
Hmm. Good question. I
Hmm.
think they may be like fairies and sort of um, kind of that's the kind of energy that I'm getting because they're more playful and more animated.
Mhm.
And they could also be from a different realm, like,
Mhm.
or if you were had a past life on Sirius and you lived your life under the sea, then the creatures would look different. So this may be past life
Mhm.
people that you've had past lives with, or souls that you had past lives with, that are coming back just to say hello to you.
Yeah.
um, yeah, these unusual descriptions of people that we've never seen, and it seems so real, and you have that very strong connection, like you do know them, or that you're connected to it some way. It's
Mhm.
the feeling that you get when these things happen that really, solidifies it for me.
Right. Excellent. I used to meditate with, I don't know, the Oneness Blessing group many, many years ago. But I would get to a deep point of meditation, and then these little gold beings would come out. And it wasn't like you could really see definition in their face, but just their little shapes, like head and arms. And they'd be like looking in at me, right? Like checking me out, looking in at me like this. And I would always know that I was in deep meditation if the little gold beings showed up. I don't know who they are, don't know what their business was. They seemed very pleasant and loving and kind and curious. So some things we can't explain,
Well,
but
it's no accident that your name is Pure Visionary. You have an amazing ability to recall or to connect in a visual manner. And
oh,
the images that you pick up visually and you describe visually is just astounding. I mean,
oh,
it's like they're just opening up the book and showing you the pictures and you're describing it. I get like little glimpses here and there, but you get like the whole, and then you can like look closer and see them closer.
Well,
It's amazing.
sometimes it happens, not every time, but it is certainly interesting. Yeah, it's an
It
amazing
depends
journey.
on this. It depends on the spirit too.
Yeah. Mhm.
The energy on the other side communicating with us.
Right.
How mhm.
Absolutely. It certainly does. Okay. Speaking of the Crone Zone, I just wanted to bring this up, which I thought was cute. My husband used the smoke alarm in my new house to contact me the first time. My whole family witnessed it. I asked for no more alarms. There
That's
you
right.
go. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yeah.
I noticed, I don't know if you guys experience this too, but when you have your pictures on your phone and the phone pops up and says memories, certain days when I'll be thinking of my son and I'll open up my phone and it'll say memories and there he is. And I'll be like, "Hi, Aaron, good to see you."
That's right. It's
Yeah.
not a coincidence.
No,
They make
no.
that stuff happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My beagle does that too, by the way.
Aw.
Fast Eddie the beagle. Best beagle ever.
That dude one says first time being here. They must be from Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Howdy. Hi,
Welcome, that
that dude
dude.
one.
All right. How does it do? It do well. We've had a wonderful conversation here. And,
Yes.
let's see. Do you want to do one more question before I'm going to see if I can find a drum roll. If you're out there, do the drum roll. Let's see.
And thank you everybody for joining us again and for participating in the questions in the chat. It really is, it really does warm our hearts that you guys are there for us and there with us. We know that you feel these same things. We know that you've had similar experiences or else you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
We know that you're empathic. We know that you are just compassionate and can feel these things. And we honor you as well. Everybody has a role to
Absolutely.
play, and we wouldn't be able to be here without you for sure.
All right. Thanks, Jane. That is so true. So true. And here's my question, my final question. Do your guides have a sense of humor? If so, tell us an example. And what does it feel like when they give you a nudge?
Mm, mm. It's pretty strong. Do they have? I'm not sure that my personal guides have a sense of humor, but other people's loved ones or guides will make me laugh
Yes.
and send out messages with a lot of laughter. This is a common one or one I had mentioned once before, that a woman wanted to know what was the next 6 months of her life going to be like, or the next 6 months to a year. How's the next 6 months or to a year looks like for her. So
Mm-hmm.
I checked with her guides and I said, I'm seeing a duck. I'm like, does a duck mean anything to you? I said, and the duck is kind of getting into some water, and there's other little ducks like following that duck. And I
Oh,
said, they're all like in a line of ducks. I said, you're not the first one. You're like the second or third one back. And then I said, there's a line of ducks. And I'm like, there's all in a row. And I'm like, you have all your ducks in a row. Like
there
everything's,
it
it
is.
was it was so funny. I laughed hysterically. So
Very
in
cool.
that sense, they come through and make me laugh.
Yeah.
So now I know when I see a duck or a bunch of ducks, you have your ducks in a row. Everything's going your way.
Perfect. I love it. Well, my guides definitely have sense of humor, and they make fun of me at the most unusual time. And when they nudge, and they don't give up. You're doing it. You're doing it. Why haven't you done it yet? We've talked to you about this before. That kind of thing. It's a wonderful thing, though, because it makes you feel loved and understood.
And
It's great.
supported
And
with that.
supported.
Mhm.
All right. Jean, would you be down for one more question from a new joiner, that dude?
Sure, sure.
All
Thank
right.
you for
Final
joining
question.
us.
Thank you,
First time
dude.
here.
Okay. I'm going to kind of tap in on this a little bit.
Uh, They say, well, I've had a very
Oh,
vivid
thank
dream
you.
about seeing tons of alien ships in the sky, and I've always wanted to know what that means. That means you've seen a ton of alien ships in the sky before. And this is a past life memory that's coming back to you through your dreams. And you, on some level, know that this is real, that you've seen this, but you don't know if it's something that could be in the future, or maybe it was something I'm picking up, it's from a past life.
Past. Me too.
Past life is also parallel life because there is no space or time on the other side or in other dimensions. They say it's all happening now, but that's interesting. I wonder if it could be uh, also a future, like a prophetic dream.
I got past too. I got past life too. But it occurred to me at the same time that it's being brought forward to you now because it will have meaning for you. And perhaps this meaning is keep an open mind. Perhaps this meaning is, if this happens and you see it again, relax. Um, I think it's a tap on the shoulder. That's what I just got. A little like, hey,
Yeah, we're here. We're
we're
here.
here.
It's real.
Hmm.
Believe you're not
Yeah.
going crazy if you think you're going crazy, but that there is validation. There is something to this that um, it's not just a story. They remind us in a lot of synchronicities to let us know that we're not just humans having this one experience, that we
Right.
have a soul and we've had other lives that we've lived and other experiences, and there's other dimensions around us, and this is just them coming into your dreams, letting you know that to wake up a little bit, open up your
Mhm.
awareness, open up your acceptance and your awareness. And I think that
Mhm.
you already do. I have the feeling that you already do.
Mhm.
But it's always nice to get validation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much for that question. That was a good one to end on. And I hate to
Yeah.
end. This is so much fun.
Thanks for
So much
stopping by.
fun.
We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we do. And I want to mention that, yes, in fact, Jean, would you like to tell us about your show? And I'll put another banner up here on
Yeah.
Friday.
It's Friday, 5:30 Eastern and 2:30 Pacific, and it'll be on SunPsychic Gene YouTube channel. And I'll have Teri Lee and Terry Suzuki. It's the would are we, the three amigos or something?
The, the Psychic Triad.
The Psychic Triad. We all went to class together and we
Yeah,
all practiced together and we were all on Allie's show together and we really love reading together.
we do.
We kind of have, I don't know, the same kind of a, not just the rhythm.
We call it the psychic bounce, and I should have had a question about that. Gee, but
You
we
can
call
write
it the
that
psychic
down.
bounce, and it's I don't know. It's when the three of us read together, I feel more amplified. I can dig deeper in my readings with you too, live readings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
we can. We really support
Yeah,
each other. And it's like with you guys all here and you guys all concentrating on the question, we can really open up and get the messages. So
yes,
when you're with other psychics, it's sort of like you kind of, the energy comes in three times as fast.
yes. It does, and it's quite fun as well.
And this has been so much fun, Terry. I can't stop smiling and laughing. This has
Wow,
been so much fun. It's a beautiful series and best of
thank
luck to
you,
you on this
thank
series.
you.
Please come back and watch more of Pure Visionaries series on different
Yes,
psychic mediums. Who else are you going to
yes.
have next?
April 20th, going across the reader board here. We'll have
Oh,
Susan Lynn. Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium, will be on April 20th. We have several other people lined up, and I just want to make a comment. Please comment in the regular comment section on this video how you liked it. Was it interesting? Do you feel like more series like this could be beneficial to you? And also, all I have lined up are ladies. And I decided to throw this back out to you guys. Okay. All you guys out there in the chat, all you subscribers, all you people watching the show, after the live, by the way, we love you too at the bottom of our heart. But comment on a male psychic medium you think I should invite to this
Ooh,
series, because we need to have the guys in here too. And I thought it would really be fun to have you guys join me, and perhaps the male who gets the most suggestions, I'll pick and give him an invitation and see if he'll come and join us. And this would be psychic mediums. I really would like to do a series on tarot readers at some point too. But this one, we're just exploring psychic mediumship.
you're
And
going to be on 7 days a week before you know it. Get ready. They'll be knocking on your door, and they can contact you on your website, on this YouTube, right? They can contact you if they
yes,
want to come in.
purevisionary@gmail.com is the email. And then, of course, you can go onto my website, purevisionarypsychic.com. It gives a little more information and background about me, and also how to get in touch with me. So please do that. I just can't tell you how much it means to me to have your love and your support. It's just brilliant. And I hope that you all have a blessed evening, and that you feel the raising of our vibration that we had in this show today. I don't know if you feel it, Jean, but woo!
It was a lot of fun. It
It
was
was
great
very
fun.
fun and powerful and loving, and I really appreciate it. So, as I end all my shows, I'm going to end this one this way too. Thanks again, Jean. Blessings to you. See you Friday. And to all of you out there, please know and don't forget, you are loved beyond measure. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.